So we are young association. We have around 100 members all over the US. It's virtual association. We don't have offices. We don't have staff. It's mostly volunteers doing work on their spare time. I am one of the few that is retired, so I have more time than the others. So my focus really is on entrepreneurship. That is my experience and expertise, and that's what I'm trying to bring most of the time. So, and if you want more information about the association, I can give you the link to the website. You can go there, read more. And if you have any question, you can reach out to me or to Miriam. So I don't want to take a lot of time, so I'm going to give the floor to Miriam, and she will take it over from here to manage the rest of the presentation.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bedrouni. So hi everyone, my name is Miriam Belabed. Welcome to this fantastic and hopefully useful event organized by the Algerian American Association for Science, Technology and Entrepreneurship. As Mr. Bedrouni just said, as we understood from him, the big goal of this association is to build strong connection with Algeria and more specifically with Algerian universities. So the goal is to find solution to your need. So please let us know if you have any suggestion. This association is for you. If it's science related, please email me. I'm chair of the science working group of the association, and I will discuss your point with the rest of the group. So, well, now we can start our discussion. I want first to thank two fantastic persons, Selma Shami and Hamza Ahmed Sir. They both work with me on the Immunofrontiers project, and they both helped the organization of today's event. They will join the association as members very soon, hopefully. So thanks again. I'm very lucky to work with both of you. So the reason why we wanted to organize this specific event is because many students in the biology field felt a lack of guidance in terms of future. I discuss this subject very often with my students, and I receive personally many questions. We decided to show you today that with a biology diploma, you can have many different options. We invited today different experts from the biology field, and the goal is to share with you our experience, and we will discuss all together different problems to hopefully try to find solution and try to moving things. Thanks again to all our guests. I have to say, when I contacted them, they all were very, very happy to participate and help today. It makes me very proud that our scientific community is very generous in terms of sharing knowledge. And I have to highlight that we are in different time zones, and for some of them, it's already very late. So thank you very much. So we are very lucky to have with us incredible and very inspiring guests today. First, Mr. Mohamed Belhoussen. You probably know him very well, a senior bioinformatician at the Molecular and Genomics Center in Dubai. He was the first person who introduced bioinformatics in Algeria. We have also Myriam Garfa Traor, head of the cell imaging platform at SFR Necker in Paris. We'll discuss many important points with Myriam, a very inspiring background. And I am personally very happy to see you, Myriam, after 4 years. We have also Yasmin Aitwamer, teacher, researcher in California now, with an incredible experience in teaching everything. You will learn with Yasmin that everything is possible with work and motivation. We have also Nadia Idres, launch leader at Sanofi. She has a huge and fantastic experience in industry. It's going to be a great discussion with her. And thank you again, Nadia, for all your help. We had a couple of meetings together before the event, and it helped me a lot organizing today's event. Very glad to have also Enfel Shemshem, founder of Zaytuna Cosmetic. A very impressive person. You will see that age doesn't matter at all if you want to build your own startup. And finally, I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. I will try to give you some tricks if you want to develop in academia. So we can start. Mr. Mohammed Belhussein.
Hi. Okay, 1 minute. Cut this one. Okay. You can hear me well, huh?
Yes.
The voice, the sound is okay.
The voice and the sound are perfect.
I need the screen share if it's possible.
I think you can. Can you share your screen?
Hello?
Can you share your screen?
The screen, to share the screen, it's disabled. If it's possible to disable it.
It's not active even for me.
Oh, I don't know how to unlock. Share screen. No, share screen. Okay, normally now you can.
Okay, I'll try. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, perfect. Okay. Share screen.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it worked.
Okay. Good afternoon. For me, it's noon, so maybe good morning for other person from the other side of the globe. Okay, I first thank Miriam for inviting me to give this small talk and to inspire other students in biology. And I am happy also to see that two of my students, Miriam and Yasmin, also they are here, both. So I will start. I am Mohammed Belhussein. So my plan for today, I will introduce myself, my academic and professional journey. I will introduce the importance of omic, the area I am interested in, and the paradigm of personalized medicine. I will explain to you what is a bioinformatician and genomics. And I will just one slide about my big results during this 15, 20 years ago of research, and some recommendation for students. So like I said, I am Mohammed Belhussein, Senior Bioinformatics and Genomic at Molecular Biology and Genomic Center. You can see, put this in red to be more.
Demande à ton père, lâche-moi, ton père il faut rien là.
Our lab is here close to Burj Khalifa, a little bit, it's a small building there. And this is not all my team, but half of them. The other one were in leave, so we couldn't take picture of everyone. So this is my journey. If we just remove this. So I got my high school, like baccalaureate for Algerian in 2001. And they joined the University of Lida in to perform a microbiology DUS, and I finished it in around 2004, where I joined Pasteur Institute for 1 year. And during these 3 years, I got the opportunity to pass also the French baccalaureate. So I got the opportunity to go to France in Aix-Marseille to do a bachelor molecular and cell biology. During this 3 first years, I worked with the Didier Raoult team in the infectious disease unit à La Timone. Later in 2008, like Miriam said, I returned to Algeria in parallel, continuing my study in France, and I start like teaching bioinformatics and genetic in the University of Blida. And late in 2008, with the help of two of my friends, we create a group. We call it BHK. It's the first letters of our names, Bel Hussein Hussairi and Karmazli and Kassel. And this group was the objective of this group was to create a small platform of teaching the bioinformatics in Algeria. So later, after like 2 years, 1 year and a half, we create something called EGEN, electronic gene, where till now, I think it's 5,000 students in University of Blida, Tlemcen, Schlef, Waran. They study the basic of bioinformatics and the annotation and analyzing DNA sequences. And this platform is still working till now, so especially in University of Blida. In parallel, I was continuing my study in France, where I joined also a CML, Center of Immunology Marseille-Lemini. I was doing a master STAR, they call it, for informatics, to learn informatics. I will explain here why I choose informatics. In the end of my bachelor, I discovered that there is a new field coming in the scene of biology. It's genomic and bioinformatics. So it was like we start having sequencer in the lab, and we start like sequencing DNAs, genomes, exomes. And when I check online, I saw everywhere saying that there is a lack of personnel bioinformatician to analyze all this amount of data generated by this sequencer. So I got the idea that I need to maybe learn informatics or completely change from a pure biologist to a bioinformatician. To like this in 1-2 years, when it will be a high demand of this kind of job, I will be ready. So I did the master informatics, and just after I start a master bioinformatics and genomic and biochemistry, structural biochemistry at Marseille also. When I finished my master, I got a grant to do my PhD also in the same field from Necker and Marseille THGC, Technological Advance for Genomic and Clinics. These two labs, Necker, the hospital, and the lab of the leukemia and T-cell development. So they host me for 4 years to perform my PhD. Before finishing my PhD, I create a new group coming also from BHK, but this time it's like a facility where we help students of PhD to analyze their data of sequencing or to help them to organize their projects. So before I finished my PhD, the last year, I got a call from Dubai asking me if I am okay to join their laboratory. There is a need for bioinformatician there. And I said I cannot, I need to finish my PhD first. So we closed the chapter. But after 1 year exactly, they contact me again and they ask me if I finished my PhD or not yet. So I was happy that they wait for me for 1 year. And I asked them later why. They explained to me that they are following my research and my publication, and they are happy to have me in their laboratory. So just like 1 week after I finished my PhD, I joined MBG Center like senior bioinformatician in 2017, where I am till now working. During this year, last like few years, 3 years, especially in 2020 when COVID started, I saw many students like locked in their home and looking for courses online adapted for them. So I got the idea to create another platform called the BHK Bioinformatics Academy, where we propose webinars, courses, help to perform students' projects, and like this. So, and I hope after 1 year, next year, I am targeting that to become assistant professor in one of the university here in UAE. So crossing fingers, inshallah. So this is little bit my parkour. You can see there is different institution I joined, Necker, THC, Latimon. Even I was part of Blueprint Epigenome Consortium, European consortium, where 24 lab were working to create a catalog of epigenome of the full body, human body. Okay. So to explain my projects and my idea of research project that I am performing, we need to start from the beginning. Now, all this research we are doing to help a human being for the diseases and so here we can see that the traditional medicine, it's not benefiting for everyone. So if you have a big group of people with the same disease and we give them the same therapy, not all of them, they will benefit. Some they will benefit and some they will like even have a bad reaction. So there is the idea in the world starts that we need to personalize our medicine. So each patient need to receive the appropriate medicine. And to do this, we need to analyze each individual for biomarkers and diagnostic exactly the problem in this individual. And like this, we can tailor the treatment exactly for this patient. And to do that, a big like new fields open, like genomic, new kinds of technologies, like wearable devices that they can follow your heartbeat. Or for example, this one that I am putting is for diabetes. It's 24 hours, 7 days. It's checking my sugar. So all this technology creates what we call a big amount of data, big data that we need someone to search on it. I put this image, it's funny image, but imagine this is the knowledge that we have now with all these technologies, and we know that there is a needle there that we need to find to treat the patient. So the job of the bioinformatician or genomician is to find this needle in this big okay, to understand what is why there is difference between patients. So we know that all we have a genome, but this genome can be even identical between the twins, but the twins still have differences in the reaction of medicine and everything. And this it's because after the layer of genome, there is the epigenome. So this epigenome, it's that this thing who control the transcription of the genes. So we need to study more this epigenetic to understand our like how our genome is transcribed and affect our health. So the epigenome, there is different like composition in controlling this epigenome. Here I just summarize what we can find in this field. We have the gene are controlled by chromatin compactation. If the chromatin is closed or open, the gene can express. Or there is other thing called DNA methylation. So if the gene is methylated more than the other one, so it will express more. And there is the field also of factor and cofactor that they regulate the transcription. And also there is the post-transcriptional modification of the histones that will regulate the gene. And each mark of this epigenetic will have some functions to activate the gene, to repress the gene, to increase the level of the transcription. So I was fascinated by this new world open to me. So I start all my PhD working and digging in this kind of mechanism, epigenetic mechanism, and this in the model of leukemia. For example, I was in Necker and in the lab of T cell development and leukemia. So it was my model of working. So I show you that in 40 years or 50 years, how this field of epigenetic and genomic transform our view of the diseases. For example, 60 years ago, we call it disease of blood, but we don't know what is this exactly, the disease of the blood. So 15 years later, they discovered that there is two kinds, leukemic and lymphoma, for example, leukemia and lymphoma. After 10 years, with some diagnostics, they discovered that there is different kind of leukemia and different kind of lymphoma. And with all the technology we have today, we start like identifying each cancer like unique with some markers, some like the mark that make it really how we call it unique. So this mark that make him unique should be also adapting the treatment we give. So by adapting the treatment to this unique cancer, we increase the survival of the patients to 70%, for example, and we create around 250 new medicine developed, we can classify them like targeted medicine. Okay, so I like this from Isaac Asimov, who said science gathers knowledge faster than the society gathers the wisdom. It's very true in the case of genomic and this new technology. This genomic and the new technology are producing big data, and we stock them in databases, but we need to go and search to find some exploitable information. So we need some people to have this ability to search in this big data. And here come the work of bioinformatician. So, and the bioinformatician, I like one time a guy, like professor told me when he asked me what I do, I said I am bioinformatician. He said he liked the bioinformatician because they look like the old scientific 500 years ago, like for example, Ibn Sina and the other one. I said, why you are saying this? He said, Ibn Sina, for example, he was not just a doctor, he was philosopher, he was astronomy, he was doing many things, and not only focusing in one field. And we lose this with the time in the science, that every scientific is focused in one field, and he becomes just expert in this field. And that's what he said I like about the bioinformatician, that they have like contour Swiss, like a Swiss knife, that he have many ability in his pocket. Like bioinformatician have to know informatics, genomics, big data, molecular biology, statistics and probability, mathematics, machine learning, proteomics, cell biology, even pharmacology, and even structural biochemistry. So, and many more. So the bioinformatician have like it's multidisciplinarity in one person. So with this all like knowledge, I was able to work with multiple different teams in different subjects, and I was like able to integrate in each different project and and help them to assess the problem or to find the solutions. And here I have like more than 20 publications. I just put here 5 that they are like very important in my eye. The first one, this one, dynamic of broad, that I am the first author in this article, and it was in Genome Research. Because it's very important, it was even published in the front cover, in the cover of the magazine, this article, where we identify epigenetic mark that can differentiate between, and we can use it like a tool to identify some new gene causing cancers. There is other publication like these two that very high impact. We publish them in very high impact article journals, 44 and 39, where we discover also some epigenetic and genetic anomalies that we can target them and improve the survival for these patients. Okay, and this article, it's also very important for me, where I discover completely a new class of RNA that and the gene that it was not known before, and it was very important because many transcription factors are included in this transcript. Finally, I want to just give some recommendation that I feel that they are important to follow if you want to have like this career full of rich of like different labs, different projects, and very passionate. The first thing, you need to have a very solid background in biological like knowledge. So if you want to be a good scientist, you need to have know the foundation very well. Also for bioinformatician and non-bioinformatician, I saw many students, PhD students, learning a basic programming like Python or R. R, it's more easy. I was given many lectures on R, that no need to be a bioinformatician to learn R, and it will help you to analyze your data. It's a very good software. For bioinformatician, you need to learn and many tools. They are available online, free. You can go and use them with the test data and learn them. You don't know in future, maybe you need them. You need also to develop a solid understanding of statistical knowledge and probability. When you have big data to analyze, you need sometimes to know which test to check if your result it's really correct or just a background. And also you need to stay updated and read books, articles, put like a target in your head that every week I need to read at least 2 articles and stay updated about all the new generation the technology that generated. Okay, learn also about biological databases that are available online, NCBI, where you can find, for example, a structure of proteins. There is a database for this. So it's good to have knowledge of all these databases and how to access and retrieve information from these databases. And they are free and available online. Also, you can see, these days, we are all talking about ChatGPT and machine learning. So you need, I think in the future, everyone need to be expert in machine learning. In any field, you need to have some knowledge and basic foundation about machine learning and artificial intelligence. So you need to enter in this domain and at least understand the foundation. Also, gain experience in high performance computing, because this machine learning it will be used we can use it only in computers and servers. So you need to understand and familiar yourself with these terminologies, and even if you don't use it, at least you know that exists and what you can do with it. And also the data visualization. You need to know if there is tools, how to project your results, how to show your results, data, which graph, which chart you need to use to explain some results. And there is many are included in software R that I told you, or Python, like ggplot or D3 tool. So also it's very important, and I was also when I was student in Algeria and they moved to France, it was very good like important things that I learned. It's the ethical consideration. So maybe because in Algeria we were like there is no big development in the field, so we are just student and we do some exercise in the university. But when we move to a professional or lab, we need to know a basic the ethical rules, especially in the genomic I'm talking, and patient privacy. So you need to be aware about all these rules. I said this one already, need to stay updated and read. Cultivate also a strong collaborative and then interdisciplinarity skills. So it's not because you are a biologist, you need to learn only things about biology. You need to check the other fields that they are close to your field, that you can use them also. And also seek internship and opportunities to gain practical experience. Call the laboratory in the summer, ask them that you will take care of your charge. You don't need to pay me. I just come to 1 week, 2 weeks, just to attend your lab to understand how it's work, this technology or something like this. So you need your CV and your knowledge. You need to really push every time you have a free time. And finally, I think it's very important to attend conferences, seminars, webinars, to make not only to know the knowledge that they are giving, but also to have networking, and you meet people and you discuss, and it will open your mind, and it will also facilitate for you to get internship or to find a job later, and it will open for you many doors later. So you need to go to the world, not to wait in your corner and wait for them to come to you. Thank you. I leave my website if you want to know more about me. This is my website. It's like my CV online. This is my email and my WhatsApp if you have any questions. And thank you for your listening, and I'm ready for questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Again, very, very impressive CV background, and it's super nice.
I cannot hear you, Miriam. You're mute. Wait. Now? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I said thank you very much. Very impressive background. So if you want to ask any question to Mr. Mohamed Belhoussen, please write on the chat. And to our speaker, if you want to comment, jump, please don't hesitate. So maybe to open our discussion, I have questions. You are one of the most popular researchers in Algeria because you bring hope, because you bring novelty, because you always think first about the education of the student. And I was one of your students, and Yasmin as well, and we will hear from Yasmin just after. I enjoyed every class that you gave, I have to say. And so my question is, was it challenging to bring a new field, which is the bioinformatics, to Algeria? And do you think that this field has a good future in Algeria?
Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, it was very challenging in the beginning, but with the help, remember Dr. Mohammed Saeed, he was like my mentor when I was a student in microbiology, and he was like believing in my capacity and everything. So he like chaperoned me, and he gave me all the help. With his car, we went to Algiers to get the documents, to fill the documents. He contacted many professors and assistant professors to join the board to create this new master and bachelor. So it was challenging because we need to convince the committee in Algiers that this field is very important, and Algeria was very, very late to start this field in Algeria. And also it was very important field because since Algeria don't have a big infrastructures in the labs, we don't have very big developed labs. So at least we could use bioinformatics to do some research, especially if there is open database, where researchers everywhere of the world, they study, for example, he have one question, he do sequencing, he answer to his question, and the journal push him to put the full data in database available. So any other researcher can access to this data and ask another question and use this data. So you don't need even to have a lab and to do the sequencing. Someone did it for you. You need just to find the good question and to have the background of bioinformatician, to know the tools that you need to use and try to find the solution to this data. So I convinced them like this in Algeria, and after like 1 year and a half, they were convinced, and they give the green light to start it in Blida. And later, when in Tlemcen and Qsentina and also Shlif, they hear about this master, they contact me also, and I help them also to build this master and bachelor in their university. I am happy now there is maybe 10 university in Algeria have like use my first draft that I did it for Blida to build their program also in their university.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And the second part of the question, you said.
I'm sorry?
Second part of the question.
Yeah, about future of bioinformatics in Algeria.
Yes, like I said, it's since in Algeria we don't have big labs to perform research like Europe. I think bioinformatics, it's the key, it's the solution. So we need really to make programs master to form a very good bioinformatician and to use this big data. I think that if we consider the knowledge and the data like the sand in the sea, for the moment we study only one cup, and all the rest it's still unknown. So if you have an army of bioinformaticians, they can try to analyze the rest that we didn't yet touch. It will be a very good opportunity for Algeria.
No, I agree with you 100%, and I always push the student to go to bioinformatics because it's easier because of the lack of, opportunities and lab and money and etc. So many students have this question. Unfortunately, if they want to push more in bioinformatics, there is no, but please correct me if I'm wrong, there is no advanced training in Algeria. They just have access to small introduction. How can the student get this advanced training in Algeria? Do you think that the online resources are enough?
Yes, it's very good question. In reality, this was the challenge in the beginning, to create this master and this bachelor, like bioinformatics, because when you want to build a master, you need at least to have some experts to give the lectures and to form the new generation. But because this lack, and the majority of Algerian bioinformaticians from outside, they refuse to come back to Algeria to give a lecture, or they just accept online. So it was very difficult to build this. So my advice, there is many free platforms. One of them that I am trying to build, like BBF Academy. So to give advance, and we take like the students from the hand, and we work with him through all the different stages of learning, and give him the like, at least we show him the door where he need to knock to find the knowledge, and we give him at least the first key to open these doors. So I think there is a lot of platforms, free platforms, and even paid. It's if it's not expensive, it's and it's worth it, it's okay. But there is a lot of platforms. Even Google now, they are giving, and LinkedIn, even in LinkedIn there is some free courses. So they need just to go and search. And if you want more information about some courses, they can contact me and they can guide them also to find. But if you want a proper master and bachelor and to learn advanced, of course, for the moment, the solution is to go outside the country, like I did. I went to France, but if you have the opportunity, if not, so you need to little bit count in yourself and do it in your own time at home.
Okay, amazing. So we are a little bit late, so I'm gonna take one question from the chat, and maybe if you can please write some answers directly, it's gonna be maybe very helpful. So from Beya, how did you come to this level? Where did you start searching to upgrade your knowledge?
Okay. The first thing, I was in Blida, so I think it's very important for me. My mother and my father, they were pushing me every time to do more and more. And also when I married very young, and my wife was very a good support for me. She pushed me and to do more and more, and she supported me. And also the more important thing for me, it's your environment, your friend that you have. So me start in the University of Blida when I was microbiology, and I got 3 friends that they are with me, and we every time project ourselves in the future, what we need to do. So we were thinking not the next step, but the 10 next step. And we saw that when we will finish our study in Blida, what we will do. So we prepare ourselves for the next step to go to France. And to do this, we found the opportunity that there is a high school, French high school in Algiers, that accept even if, like we said in Algeria, candidat libre, free candidate. So even if you are not rich, you are like me, I was not rich. My father cannot afford to pay for me to study in this high school. It was just for the ambassador and the ministers. And so I went just free student. I paid just, I remember, $1.5 million only, like 1.5 million to register, and I passed the bac. And if you have this baccalaureate, it's open for you the door for all the University of France. It's not like Campus France now. You need to prove and to test French test and many things to be accepted. With the French baccalaureate, you have the right to register anywhere you want. Like you can go and you will pass directly. So it was our opportunity to jump to the other reef, l'autre côté de la Méditerranée. And after when I was there, you need to be really, really strong, because I was 20 years old, no money, you need to work, study, and to do all this, and you need to be really, really, very hard worker. I was studying during the day from 9 to 3, sleeping between 4 and 6. At 9, I go to work in Carrefour platform from 9 in the evening till 4 in the morning. So imagine from 9 to 4, I'm working. At 4, I go home, take shower, eat, and go study at 9. So it was very, very hard. It's not easy, but if you have the hope and you have the courage to continue, you will reach this level. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, if you can please maybe answer some questions. We can.
Of course, I will do. Yes.
Thank you very much.
I will do.
Thank you. So we can move to Myriam, head of cell imaging platform at SFR Necker in Paris.
Hello, and I share my screen. Do you see my screen? Yeah, is it okay for you?
Yes.
Okay. So hello everyone. So I'm Garfa Traoré. I'm the head of cell imaging platform at SFR Necker in France. And first of all, I'd like to thank Myriam Delabed for her invitation. So I met her during her PhD that she did at Institut Imagine, and she was one of the users of my platform. So before I start talking about my work on the platform, I'd like to give you a brief overview of my academic and professional background. So in 2003, I obtained a master's degree in biological imaging, during which I learned about optical, photonic, and electron microscopy, as well as image processing and analysis. And then 18 years later, yes, everything is possible. I defended my thesis in cellular and molecular biology, which focus on nephron-off, hereditary childhood kidney disease. So I obtained my first job as a microscopy research assistant in Danone's Research and Development Center to design and develop a comparative study of the structure and texture of dairy products using transmission electron microscopy and confocal microscopy. Then I obtained a 1-year fixed-term position as head of the cell imaging platform at Institut Cochin. And in 2005, I obtained an external INSERM engineer competition at Necker to set up and develop a cell imaging platform. So the platforms were created to centralize expensive and technically complicated equipments that requires expertise and cannot be purchased by research teams. They provide access to technological instruments, expertise to researchers. They develop and implement new technologies. And finally, one of their important missions is to transfer their technical and research expertise to numerous scientists. So the cell imaging platform of Necker, where I work in, is located in Necker Hospital in Paris. It's a hospital dedicated for children, and there are 3 entities in Necker campus, the Institut Imagine, which aims to understand children's genetic diseases in order to treat them for better treatment. It comprises 24 research laboratories. There's also the Institut Necker Enfants Malades, which aims to develop innovative therapeutic and diagnostic strategies through its 20 research laboratories. And finally, the Structure Fédérative de Recherche Necker, which brings together 13 technological platforms, including my own, and tries to develop and optimize them. So the cell imaging platform of Necker was created in 2005 with my recruitment. I'm helped by 2 engineers, Beatrice and Yuen, and a scientific advisor who is Gaëlle Ménacher. She was Myriam's supervisor during her PhD. So the platform has around 12 microscopes, from microscopy to super resolution microscopy, to study the whole organs until cellular ultrastructure. And all of these microscopes cost around 2.5 million euro. Oh, sorry. We welcome around 250 users per year, and more than 100 of them are trained to use the microscope autonomously. Income is around 135 euro, and is used to cover the maintenance of all the microscopes and the running of the platform. So my mission as a platform manager covers a number of different areas. Here some points. I oversee all the aspects of the day-to-day operation. I supervise and support the facility staff. I stay on top of advanced technology, of course. I consult and work with researchers to determine the appropriate equipments. I develop and implement new experimental designs. Of course, I analyze and interpret results, write publications. And I also identify and apply for funding to buy new microscopes, and I negotiate all the purchases. I manage the platform budget, and I communicate on the work of the platform internally and externally. Concerning my colleagues' tasks, they are more technical and practical. They provide users with advice on the technology adapted to their questions. They help and train users on equipments. They collect data and help for the interpretation. They evaluate and resolve equipment issues and have knowledge, of course, of advanced application. And the most important point is that they develop new imaging approaches. So on this slide, I just wanted to show you a selection of images of sample of different sizes. So most people work on cells. This is an example of fibroblast cells stained with phalloidin to see the actin cytoskeleton. Here on the right side, you can see intestinal microvilli on CACO2 cells. And as you can see, we increase thanks to the STED technology, the resolution of the microvilli. So the mouse model remains a reference model for many researchers. And on the left, you can see here a mouse heart observed in 3 dimensions. But increasingly, researchers are also using organoid models now to mimic the organ of interest in order to limit animal experimentation. And here is an example of an intestinal organoid image in 3 dimensions. The zebrafish model is also increasingly used for at least 2 reasons: the ease with which it can be genetically modified, and also its transparency for imaging. And here's an example of 30 HPF for our post-fecundation transgenic embryo that express a GFP protein here to see the pronephros. So to obtain these beautiful images on the platform, we are trying to develop and implement new imaging approaches. And this is a case with the STED or STORM or expansion microscopy, super resolution microscopy, that enables to see details that were previously impossible to observe with a conventional confocal microscope. Secondly, researchers want more and more to visualize their fixed samples in 3 dimensions without sectioning them. So we have therefore implemented craying techniques on the platform that allow light to pass through the entire thickness without being diffracted. And you can see here a mouse head before clearing, and here after clearing, we can see only the eyes. And here is the 3D reconstruction after acquisition. So in this final panel, I just wanted to show you a few videos of cleared samples. So here you can see a tongue, here a mouse embryo heart, a mouse embryo head, and here a whole embryo. So to conclude, I can say that I enjoy my work for at least 3 reasons. From a technical point of view, I'm lucky to work in a field that is constantly evolving, and I learn something new every day. From a scientific point of view, because we work on and collaborate with many researchers from different backgrounds, and of course from a human point of view, because we interact with people with different personalities, nationalities, and life backgrounds. So here I can let you the way to contact me if you have any question. So don't hesitate to come back to me if you have any further question after the discussion we will have now. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you. It's super, super inspiring. Miriam, if you agree, maybe we can go through all the presentations first and then come back to the questions. So
yes, of course.
A whole discussion. Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you. So maybe Nadia, if you are ready.
Okay. Can you just please let me share my screen?
I think I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. Hi again, everyone. And thank you for joining. Thank you for the American Algerian Association of Science, Technology, and Partnership for inviting me, especially Miriam. It's a pleasure to share with you my journey within the pharmaceutical field. So maybe, oops, my screen is not yet shared. Yeah. Oops. Is it okay? Yes, perfect. So my name is Nadia. I'm also a biologist, biochemist, and I've studied database and marketing management. All my studies have been done in Algeria, and currently I'm launch leader with Sanofi Algeria. Before starting, let me just maybe share with you. So according to the purpose of this session, I would like to share briefly my background with you, my career choice, the main jobs in the pharmaceutical industry, and then some tricks to join pharma and advance in your career. Oops. Here. So, as I mentioned, I started my studies in Algeria at the University of Mould Memory in Tizi Ouzou. And at the same time, I studied database, and I just heard by Mr. Belhossein that it was not mandatory, because actually I studied database in case of not being able to join the pharmaceutical field. My plan, let's say B, was to study bioinformatics abroad also, because I'm really passionate and I really like your presentation, Mr. Belhossein. But after that, because actually when I was student, I spent a lot of time, especially during the summer period, in different labs in Algeria, from hospital to another one. And what I was early noticed that labs was not especially for me. I didn't really like this field, and I really felt inspired and motivated and passionate about commercial sales, business in general. That's why when I decided to take a role in pharmaceutical field, and at this time, I mean in 2009 or 2010, it was, let's say, a field little bit, let's say, difficult to integrate, because being biologist, for me at this time, the only possibility was to integrate by sales. And as you know, in Algeria, we need to be scientific. We need to have scientific background to be a sales representative, for example, in pharmaceutical field. So in 2012, I joined Servier, which is a multinational French company. And as a medical representative, it took 2 years to integrate the pharmaceutical field, because just within bracket, I had to convince my dad to integrate pharma, who was really opposed to this because of the risk of being a medical delegate linked to the fact that being on the road, it's too risky. So I remember thinking that if I'm destined to be a saleswoman, that I should convince him. And when I started, as medical representative, which is, let's say, one of the big job family existing in the pharma, I decided at this time to get, let's say, a promotion, or just a second opportunity, or second job family in marketing. That's why I started at this time studying marketing and management. And here, what I was prepared here is just kind of some summary of the existed job families in the pharmaceutical field. So in my case, I started in medical and regulatory information job family, where we can find a lot of jobs. And then I moved to the promotion and marketing. But what we have to know that in the pharma field, we can, by being biologists, we can integrate different job families, such as research and development, production, quality, environment, health and safety, promotion and marketing, medical regulatory information, and support. And here, for the support jobs, there is a lot of different jobs. Maybe it's the only one when we need to be more than biologist or different background, because here it's more related to the finance, communication, and so on. So what I highlighted, I just mentioned different jobs we can think about when we are biologists in Algeria, but abroad also, because the main job families here exist in all the pharmaceutical companies, except maybe for the research and development. So if we take the production, for example, being biologist, we can have the opportunity to be biomarkers and clinical bioanalysis, for example, quality control. For promotion and marketing, we can just after our studies in biology, start our career as commercial representative and also brand manager sometimes, because the medical aspect or the scientific aspect is more than mandatory for the majority of jobs in this job family. For the medical and regulatory information, even if we think that being a pharmacist is the main background we need, but I would like to highlight that being medical representatives, advisors, clinical research, or associate, this kind of jobs really need to be to have this kind of background. And from my point of view, what I can highlight and emphasize on concerning the possibility to integrate the pharma or manage our career is by taking into consideration the main challenges, which is the constant change. What we can notice now is the fact that, especially after COVID pandemic, is the fact that there is a big transformation and change, and it trends to be the new way or the new trend. I mean, in terms of jobs, for example, we need more and new competencies, such as the skills related to the artificial intelligence, because of this transformation of all the ecosystem in the pharma. We move from a period where the brand was the focus, or the main approach was around the brand, to another approach where the patient is in the center of this ecosystem. And based on this transformation, we need to adapt our communication style, adapt our access the tools, and how to convince the authorities to get access for the new product. We need also to support the patient with more than treatment and consider also the solutions, for example. So the general idea here is that the main challenge is the constant change, which is also, from my point of view, the main opportunity, because it opens the number of opportunities in terms of this bridge construction. I mean, because we can move, as in my case, for example, from promotion to promotion to medical, from medical to finance. Why? Just because we are promoting a new way of learning in the majority of the companies today, but also in the pharma, by using the 70, 20, and 10 approach. I mean, 70 time for learning based on the experience, by participating in the new project at the affiliate or the company level. 20% of the time to expose and to network and to by getting mentor also, and only 10% of the learning time for the academic training. The second main challenge from my point of view is the fact the new competencies and skills required and the ability of everyone to be able and to be ready to get these new competencies, because it's more than the need, or more than the self competencies. It's also about mindset. That's why one of the aspect we work on a lot in this context of the constant change is the change management. For me, once again, and from my point of view, these main challenges can be considered as main opportunities, because as I've just mentioned, it opens a lot of doors to take new opportunities and improve our knowledge and competencies. I will finish with some tips and tricks. Based on my little experience in the pharma, I think that understanding well ourselves in terms of needs, motivation, challenge is key for being able to have the self-management, I want to say, of our career. Second point is being curious of the new jobs, curious about the new competencies, curious about the external environment, because even if I mentioned the artificial intelligence, even if it's crucial now and key in the pharma, but it's also the same for many years ago for other fields. So we need to be curious and hear about what it's happened around the this field, because in general what happened in the pharma is just a trend of the new customer approach in terms of being continuously in contact with the customers, which is not only the patient. Sometimes it's the healthcare professional, the authorities. It depends on the business model, and also it depends on the therapeutic area, and of course of the market. Third point for me is staying connected and attentive to the external environment, and I think elaborate on it with the second point. Being creative, because especially in marketing and promotion, we need to be more and more competitive and attractive. Continuously learn and develop, and I think it's a common tips for all the fields. We need to develop ourselves in terms of hard skills, but also soft skills. I mentioned the change management, which is more human skills than technical or hard skills, and it's more than key for a company and support the change in the pharma. And last but not least, self-management of your career. From my point of view, when we know well ourselves and when we are well advised, we can easily have the self-management of our career. And as mentioned at the beginning from, I think, Miriam or Mohammed, when we have an objective, we need to see not just at the short term, but also middle and long term. That's concerning, I think, yeah, that's concerning briefly the job opportunities we can have in the pharmaceutical field when we are a biologist. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia. Thank you. So we move to Enfel. Enfel, who's founder of Zaytuna Cosmetics. So you will learn about startup. I'm gonna share. So she prepared a video. So I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Anfel. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Jijil, Algeria, and I own a business called Zaytuna Cosmetics. I have a master's degree in applied microbiology, and honestly, cosmetic formulation has never been an option for me, because I always thought that I will end up doing something directly related to microbiology. I loved microbiology. I loved learning about it and seeing these creatures through microscopes. It just felt like this hidden word that we got to see, but not the rest of the word. It's kind of like the magical world of Harry Potter and the Muggles, if you know what I mean. So I always thought I will end up doing something directly related. And during my master's degree, all I was trying to do was explore my options. And the options that I had in mind were lab work, right? So I was doing internships to everything related to analysis. So blood analysis, quality control, urine. So that's all I was trying to do. And I did lots of internships related to that. And during my second year in my master's, there was one teacher, we had this module where we learned about cheese and yogurt, and so fermentation in general. And he spoke a little bit about the industrial side and the production and the large scale side of microbiology. And I thought, you know what? I have never considered doing internships in big companies that produce these products, or detergents or cosmetics or anything. So I said, here's the thing, I am very interested in entrepreneurship. I always listen and read anything that seems interesting about starting a business, startups, marketing. So I went ahead and reached out to a few companies, and I ended up doing some internships in detergent companies and cosmetic companies. And here's the thing, sometimes you don't know what you love until you try it. So I really urge you and encourage you to explore your options and try new things, because sometimes you look at one thing and you think, oh, I will be interested in that, or I won't be interested, but other things you really won't know until you try. So I went ahead, I did the internships, and I really loved it. I loved the process. So not only the production process, but I loved every department. So, marketing, quality control, research department. And that's when I decided I'm going to take, actionable steps to start my own business. And when it comes to the idea of the business, I always wanted something to work for my skin, because I have very sensitive skin. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my best to learn, do some research, read. And here's the thing, information is readily available online. There are lots of good trainings from people that actually that are cosmetic formulators and worked in big companies that do these trainings. So I went ahead, I did this one training, I read lots of books, and it took me 2 years actually of learning how to exactly formulate these products and to do a little bit of experimentation. And after 2 years, I started my business, and I love it. We're trying to grow every day, and we try to make products that are not readily available in the Algerian market. Sure, starting your own business might be very daunting, because you're doing, especially at the very beginning, you're doing everything yourself. So you're not only the formulator, right? But you are doing marketing, you are talking to customers, you are every aspect of the business, you are doing it yourself. But it's also very rewarding, and it's very enjoyable. When it comes to biology and any field in biology, really, there are lots of options that you can go ahead and explore. And I truly encourage you to go ahead and explore your options, your interests, your talents, develop skills that you think you might need if you're interested in something specific. So yeah, I won't bore you any longer with my talk. I hope this will encourage you to go ahead and explore your options and try and do what you like, and just to also believe that there are lots of options for you out there. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and thank you to the organizers for their efforts, and yeah, take care.
Thank you very much, Enfel. So now we go to Yasmin to explore a little bit of the teaching area. I'm gonna share again her recording. Can you see the screen?
Hello, everybody. I introduce myself, Dr. Aitwamer Yasmin. Firstly, thanks for the invitation. It's an honor and pleasure for me to be with you today. Thank you, Miriam. So I'm very happy to give you today a little story about my curriculum as a scientific researcher and teacher. So my adventure in biology began in the Department of Science of the University of Blida, where I did my bachelor and my master's degree in genetics. So I have always been passionate by teaching and research in the same time. But this vocation was made possible according or in green part thanks to one person, one of my teachers. Present here with us, Dr. Bilhussein Mohammed. He was a very exceptional teacher and very different teacher. That kind of person who makes everything possible. He gave me the chance to access to the CML immunology in Marseille in France. I learned a lot with him, especially in genomic, genetics, and bioinformatics. It made me want to continue my doctoral thesis in microbiology and ecology, still in taxonomy and genetics. I do my research, and in the same time I was teaching bioinformatics, genomics, and microbiology in the University of Media. During the COVID pandemic, I became interested in a new educational system, the French one. So I take as a challenge to teach physics and chemistry in addition to the science lessons in presential and online with a lot of French and Belgian students. I love teaching, but this experience gave me a new access, so I became a coach, special coach for a medical school's exams. And every success of my students was exactly mine. I was very happy and proud to see my students successful, and I developed a very special method, interactive one, to make science easy, to learn easily with a fast memorization, summarizing the lessons. So because in teaching, I love this way to give a hope and sometimes to change all the future career of one of my students. Last year was marked by a big event in my life. I'm currently in Los Angeles in California, still teaching in Faculty Science of St. Bernard's High School, but for the first time in English, in physics, chemistry, and physical science. New country, new challenge, new language, but exactly the same passion for teaching. The students or the Vikings of Bernards make me very happy and confirm it that when we teach really from the heart and with passion, the result is always positive. I project to continue my career as a teacher and a researcher. And if I can tell something to our Algerian students, is that biology major in university is an excellent one with a lot of perspective, and everything can be possible if you believe in your capacities. Thank you very much. If you have a question, it will be a pleasure for me to answer to your question.
Thank you, Yasmin.
Thank you.
The beautiful message. So the last presentation actually is mine. I'm gonna share my screen quickly. Okay. Now we talk about research in academia. So I'm gonna go through my background very quickly. I got a bachelor degree in cellular and molecular biology from Blida University. Then same university, I did a master in cellular, molecular signaling and immunology. Then decided to go to Paris to do another master in immunology to extend my knowledge. And after strong interview process, I was accepted at the Pierre et Marie Curie University. And I knew quickly that I wanted to do a PhD in immunology. So then I got a very competitive PhD fellowship from the French Ministry of Education and Research. And I did my PhD at Imagine Institute on dendritic cells biology. After my PhD defense, I got the Imagine Thesis Award, allowing me to have a very short postdoctoral fellowship at Imagine Institute. And finally, in March 2020, I joined the team of Dr. Myriam Merad at the Icahn School of Medicine in New York to do a postdoc fellowship on targeting dendritic cells to enhance tumor immunity. And now I want to continue in academia. So the next step for me is to build my own research lab. So this is the background. And now I'm gonna share with you some points that I think are very important if you want to do research in academia. So the first point is research in academia is not easy. It's a long and heavy process to get there. So it is very important to understand and evaluate your patient for biology. You need to understand if you really want to push for it. And this brings to the second point, which is to explore different fields. Many students ask me to help them to choose the good field. It takes time to find the good one for you, but you have to explore deeply the different fields. So you cannot really judge with just few class hours. And then the third point is to set clear goals. Short-term goals are very important. If you have clear goals, example, you can say this year the goal is to explore some biology fields like genetics, immunology, biochemistry. The second goal is to try to get lab experience by doing some internship at the hospital, for example, and to visit different platforms. So the goals are very important. The next point is the education. Try to get the best training possible. This is really, really important. And this is the first big step to start a good career. The next point is mentorship. It is very important to have a mentor to help you during each step of your academia career. For example, you need a mentor during your master, your PhD, and even a postdoc. As a postdoc, you need a mentor. The mentor will provide you guidance to reach specific goals. The next point is networking. It is very important to join scientific communities very early. Meeting people can open many opportunities for you. And now there is many ways to be part of different scientific community through association, for example, like this one, or the Immunofrontiers Group Project and many others. Next point is to gain practical experience. If you want to do research, you absolutely need to get some experience in the lab. I know that this specific point is a problem in Algeria because of the lack of internship opportunity, but we are trying to find solution to this. For example, we organized with Immunofrontiers last year a virtual lab that helps a lot. And with the association, actually, we are currently working very hard to find solutions to this problem. So please stay connected with us. Another very important point for me is to stay informed. The biology field is moving very fast. It is very important to read as much as possible. Attending classes at the university is not enough at all to have a good training and be competitive. If you want to apply somewhere, you have to educate yourself. Attend journal clubs, for example, is a great option to read and discuss papers with scientific group. We have a nice immunology journal club. If you are interested, please let me know. Communication skills. In academia, you will have to present and discuss your science all the time. You have to gain practice in giving talks and discussing results. So please don't be shy and start practice. It is fine to change your path during the process. Many alternatives exist, and you have to know this. You also have to be aware that doing research needs a huge amount of work. You have to be sure that your choice will not affect your private life. A Nature paper just published recently, a few days ago, and it's really a true article on the different difficulties that we all face as postdocs. So I really recommend this paper to really have a better idea on academia. Next point, if you want to do research again, you have to know that it's not easy. You have to fight for it. Be patient and accept to adapt if something goes wrong. It is also necessary to have additional skills like critical thinking, team working, etc. Next point, global perspective. We are very lucky now because we can connect with different groups all around the world. Don't hesitate to use it to expose more your science and learn from international experts. Next point, learning will never stop after your graduation. In research, you will have to read and learn until the end of your career. Be aware of this. So for this point, it is really difficult to go through the application process of any program because it is specific to each country, each school, each level, but you have to be aware of all application process. Check the website of the schools, for example, and ask if there is any funding opportunity. So at each step, you have to know the requirements, and the more you go high, the more you have to have a complete background. For example, if you apply to do a master's degree, you just need to have a good record at school. However, if you want to do a PhD program, you have to have first a good record at school, but not only. You have to be good, you have to have a good idea on the research that you want to develop. You have to read a lot of scientific papers. You have to have excellent skills in communication and presentations. For postdoc, it's more complex. You will need additional skills. You need to have at least one publication as a first author. You need to have a good bibliography culture. You need to read a lot. You need to write papers. You need to know how to write grants, to ask for funding. You need to also have excellent skills in communication. You need to be able to train students and have also very good skills at the lab. Next point is to balance passion and practicality, meaning you have to be wise sometimes. So even if you have a strong passion for like specific field, you have to also to adapt according to the job market, to the finance also. To help you, there is many online resources on, for example, how to build your CV, how to write a grant, how to prepare for an interview. So please don't hesitate to use them. And the final point, be open to change. It is okay to change the field or the plan during your road. Never be afraid or sad. The future is always bright if you want. And thank you. So now we are a little bit late. So we go back to Miriam to ask her some questions. Again, our speakers, don't hesitate to jump, to add, to comment. So Miriam, again, as we saw, she managed an entire and huge microscopy platform. So Miriam, I have a question about your pre-PhD. So before your PhD, before engaging in a PhD, you were already running an entire microscopy platform. First, how did you get this amazing and impressive position? And second, can you please share with the audience how your position gave you the opportunity to collaborate with different teams on different projects? And I think personally, it's super, super important to be involved in different projects in science.
Yeah, so how I had this position. So I did a master which was really dedicated for the platform positions. So I specialize myself in microscopy in general, as I said, optical, electron, and also medical imaging. And when I started to work, it was moments where the institute wanted to create platforms because the researchers didn't have enough money to buy such expensive microscopes. So the idea of the National Institute was to create this kind of platform. So I was quite lucky because I started this kind of master, which was really dedicated for this kind of position. And I was here at the best time and the good time to have this position. So now it's more complicated to have position particularly in cell imaging. There are more positions in bioinformatics, as we talked about it just before. It's the new tendance than the cell imaging was a few years before, earlier. Then the second point of, I forgot, sorry, your second part of question.
Collaboration.
The collaboration, yeah. So the big advantage of a platform is that we welcome a lot of users from many different areas. And so, as you said, it's a good way to learn about a lot of subjects. So in our institute, we have genetics, we have immunology, we have cell biology, and many people work on a lot of subjects, and we are here to help them. And so it's true that it's a good position to learn about a lot of areas. And we welcome also people from outside. So sometimes it's from industry. It can be from other kind of, not biologists, but other field of science. So it could be also a little bit frustrating because we don't have our own subject. So we are just a little part of a subject. We don't have an overview of all the part of the scientific topics. So it could be also a little bit frustrating if you want to have your own project and go further in a subject in the field of research. So there are positive and negative points, and that's why I started my PhD, because I wanted to have my own project for a few years, to see how it was to have his own project and to be involved from the beginning to the end of a project, and not just a little part. And it depends a lot of the users we can have on the platform. Sometimes they explain you everything, and you are a real collaborator in their project, but sometimes just 2 or 3 words about their subjects, and that's it. So I hope I answer your your question and give you
Perfectly. And then you started the PhD. My question, is it like difficult to find a good balance between your PhD and then the platform? Because
I was running all day long. So I started some experiments on the lab and then I going back to my platform. But hopefully I was helped by people on the platform that they could help me and let me do some let me do my PhD also in parallel of my activity. But all the administration stuff I kept it, but for training users training users and help people on the platform daily. I let my colleagues do it for me to be able to do the PhD experiments. So it was quite hard during 4 years, but
you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Possible.
And everything is possible. 18 years after my master's degree, yes. I did a PhD.
It's super inspiring, I think, for many of us.
So as we said before, and I think everyone who talks to this evening said that when we want something, we can do it. So it was a new challenge for me. When I started the PhD, the first challenge was to set up this platform. So I started from nothing. So now we have a big platform with more than 12 microscopes, and we can answer a lot of questions for our researchers. So I'm quite proud of it. And I wanted a new challenge. I think I work with challenge.
Yeah.
What is the next? I don't know now, but I will find
Please
one.
Tell us. Please tell us after if you have any new challenge.
So I'm from Tunisia. I think I'm not I am the only one which is not Algerian, perhaps online. And
it's the same.
Yeah, of course. But my dream is to start working with the Maghreb. So I know that there is a lot of needs, and if I can help any countries in Africa, for example, we have old microscopes that we change when we can, and I think this microscope can be useful for labs like in Algeria or in Tunisia and other countries that needs this kind of tools, or we can train them also. We can welcome them in our labs to help them to implement then this kind of techniques in their country. So my new challenge, I hope, is to try to connect with Africa and at least with Maghreb, so Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco, and find a way to network with you and how to and try to help these countries to improve their science and knowledge in these new technologies. So this is I think I will try this new challenge, and I hope you will help me for that.
Definitely, I will definitely discuss with you after. And I think Mr. Bodromi agree that we need help and we need you.
I mean, if you allow me just to say a few words, because I've been in this business for so long, and I tell you, it's sometimes you get discouraged, but you have to keep going. And I am very happy. Just some general remarks. We have a fantastic group of ladies. I think men are minority here for once. So, and tremendous experience, tremendous will to share, their experience and be a mentor. And that's what I am trying to be a mentor, share your experience, help whenever you can. I mean, I receive every day emails from people in Algeria asking me, can you find me a job in the US? And I said, unfortunately, I can't. But I can share with you, give you some advice how you might be able to do it. But I cannot find you a job. You have to do the work. I cannot do it for you. So that type of things that all of us, I think, know. And we want to help as much as we can, but I think if we do it, we need to do it collectively, we need to do it in a structured manner, and we need to get in an association. And that's what I think I am, my advice to Miriam is, maybe I'm sure there are a lot of Tunisians in France, and maybe there is an association, maybe there is an African association that covers the whole of Africa. I think that's the proper way to do it, because it gives you name recognition, it gives you a structure, and it gives you also a way where at one point in time, if you apply for a grant, you can do it in the name of the association. And that way, it's more easier at that point to really get the grant in the name of the association and funding rather through a name. I can tell you my own experience. I have tremendous experience in the entrepreneurship education. I worked with the top people here in the US. I was involved at UCSD with $10 million grant I managed. But when I tried to do it on my own, nobody listened to me. But then I found out that was not the right way to do it. And therefore, right now, I try to work with universities, even though I do most of the work. So that's, Miriam, I think one advice, I think, is really if you can connect with Tunisian or African association in France,
Yeah,
and maybe.
Unfortunately, I don't have contacts outside France. In Tunisia, for example, I have no contact. So that's why I think with Miriam, we can start something with Algerian, and I hope open it to other countries like Tunisia, etc. So I was born in France, and I do all my scholarship in France. And unfortunately, I don't know how it works in Tunisia. I have no contact, so I'm very happy to see how in Algerian it works, and to have contact with you. I know that there is a consortium concerning microscopy in Africa, and I tried to contact them, and they did this week a meeting with in South Africa to discuss around microscopy with all the platform or the people who works on microscopy in the continent. But I don't know. I don't have names that I can.
Well,
contact.
you know, yeah, you know, I know that there is a similar organization of Tunisian in the US. I don't know how active they are. I don't have the website, but I think I.
If you have, yeah. I'm interested in, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be one way to start. So.
But of course, I'm not limited to Tunisia. I really want to work with all Africa, all the countries that need some help. If I can help in my way, so for example, teaching them how to use a simple microscope, or so I'm really. I really want to do this part. You talked about a virtual lab. So for example, I can explain the principle of microscopy, etc., etc. So I let the other people, sorry, I talk a lot. And I let the
nice
other
to hear from you, Well, thank you very much. And we can discuss more about this, Miriam, after. So very quickly, I have a question to Mohamed Belhossein about this platform structure, which I think it's a big missing in Algeria. So with Miriam, we had a perfect example of a good microscopy platform and the importance to have a dedicated team to run it. as a bioinformatician, you also know the importance of those kind of structures, like the platforms. And I feel that this aspect is missing in Algeria. Most of the institutions have some materials, but not really a core to run it. And in my opinion, many projects and collaboration can take place and succeed if we start thinking seriously about it. So what's your thought about it? Why do you think that there is a huge missing in Algeria, and how can we improve this? Do you think it's a lack of expert, of training, of fair, of the technology?
Okay, good question.
It's a complex one.
First, so I answer why it's lacking, and after I give you what we are doing now. It's lacking because the politic of the country before was not like favorite or taking in account this field at all. So for them, it was, if he is sick, he go to Europe. He don't care about the populations. To develop the health system in Algeria, he don't care. So for him, he have the solution to go to abroad for himself or his family. So for long years, it was the politic like this. But it's changed, and I can assure you that since 1 year, the presidents contact around 30 experts around the world in each field, and I am one of them, to build a scientific committee and to try to create like a big project, like central project for Algeria in each field: renewable energy, genomic medicine, personalized medicine, also like pharmaceutical. There is different access. So they contact many of research and they create also a database where they contact all the Algerian professor or doctors or high like ranked around the world, and they ask them if they can attend the big meeting. It was programmed this month, but it was postponed because of Gaza. So I think it will be next week, maybe, or 2 weeks. It will be online and presidential or online with the three ministry of Algeria, like the health, defense, and university, like science and research and university. And they are building like a big project with the big funding for each axe. And in parallel, also for genome, for example, for genome, it's still confidential, but there is big works preparing to create a genome Algerian project, like to sequence around 100, I don't know how much. But even Tunisia, because we were talking about Tunisia, I have one contact from Tunisia who is in the project, Tunisian Genome Project. They are preparing also the draft, and they bought the sequencers, and they are preparing their like to start. So now, like, small projects coming like this. I hope the politician will like continue in this road, and they not, when we change the president, all the projects stop and we start from scratch again. I hope. So this is it. It's political, and it depends the vision of the who have the hand, like who is the president or the minister.
Okay.
What is his vision of the country, where he wants to put the money? If for the moment it's with us, he's creating this kind of projects and meetings. I hope not after the election. If he's not if he's not elected, we will start again from the scratch with the new one. But crossing fingers. So this is it. I think we have the money. We are like a rich country. We have petrol and everything. They need just to think about this field, not only building stadiums and building mosques, big mosques and everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And then, Enfel, I don't know if you can hear us.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Hi, Enfel.
Hi.
So I have a question for you, because to be honest, I'm skincare person, and I found what you are doing very fascinating. So do you have a team working with you? Because it's super impressive what you are doing. Because I feel that you need many aspects to run your startup. So are you involved like in the preparation of the product, the quality control, the marketing?
Mhm. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for having me. When I first started, it was basically just me. I was working on a product, and there are quality control labs. So anytime I try something and I think it's good, then I take it to the quality control lab. The analysis is made. If the results are good, then that's great. But then as time went by, alhamdulillah, we started developing, we started having other people to work with us. But also nowadays the freelancers. So sometimes tasks that I cannot do myself or the other team members cannot do, we can just give these tasks to or like resource them to other people that do freelance, especially when it comes to, I don't know, social media, design, marketing, and all that. These are things that it's not my specialty. I don't think I'm great at. So we just resource them to other people.
Okay.
I don't know if I can answer a few questions since it's my field. Is that okay?
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah, Anfer, first of all, is your company based in Algeria or are you somewhere overseas?
No, it's based in Algeria.
Okay, so the next questions. Did you get any business training after, and how was this training and where did you get it?
Okay, so I did one training here in Algeria by somebody who worked in a company abroad. He worked with Nivea, but also with another company. I forgot the name of the company. It was really good. It was intensive and all that. So that was good. But also I did a lot of reading. That's what helped the most. And one thing, the language, because I speak English, so that helped a lot because all the information is readily available in English.
But did you join an incubator at one point in time, or are you considering joining one?
I am considering, yes. I did not join one, no.
Okay, if you need some help, let me know. I have some good, I work with most, as a matter of fact, I did 1 year ago with a grant from the US Embassy. We did a training for 2 weeks training, virtual training for head of incubators. And we had 20 universities in Algeria participating in that training program, which was very well received. And I tell you the truth, I struggled to get it going. Simple training took 9 months to get an approval from the ministry. Can you imagine that? 9 months.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I had to resort to connection to get it done. Even the US Embassy in Algeria could not get the approval from the Ministry of Higher Education because there was one guy who did not like it. So that's tell you the story. Tell you that's anything you want to do in Algeria. And I agree with Dr. Belhoussine, anything you want to do is a struggle. So don't give up. Lesson number one. So if that we intend, because I believe that I don't know about the quality of the training it's given. When we finish the training, we get a request from the ministry, said, hey, we would like you to do this type of training here in country in Algeria. I said, I am ready. I have the team, bring the money. Then I don't hear from them. So there is a problem that I think we all are facing is their mindset, how the business world work and how things are done. And they still are thinking in the 70s. And that's very hard to kind of like pass the message. So, but hopefully with the new generation, we are going to have a mindset change. But unfortunately, the people in power are still from the old generation. And that is, in my mind, major obstacle to anything we are trying to get done in Algeria. Now, regarding your startup, how did you fund it?
It was personal funding.
Okay.
I worked a lot.
Okay, all right. And then are you having sales now? I mean, do you have sales? Are they progressing?
Yes, it's good. We have a how do we call it? I forgot the. Well, we now sell the products in different cities in Algeria, so that's good.
Very good. So the other thing, recommendation is I publish on my LinkedIn page a lot of funding opportunities. Sometimes you can get grant, free money from institution, foundation, big companies, you know. There is a lot of funding for women entrepreneurs. So you get a chance here. So please check my LinkedIn page. And also the AIST LinkedIn page also. We post these opportunities in both sites. So that might be an opportunity for you to consider. Also, I have some contact with some angel groups. So if you send me some basic information, I can refer the information to this group, and hopefully you might get some funding. I don't know if you have tried to apply with the Algerian Startup Fund, and if you have tried it or not. I don't know if you did that.
I did not, no.
Okay. All right. Well,
thank you so much. I certainly will. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay. I think I put my email address, AIST email address in the chat, so you can have it there.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Enfel. And then maybe Yasmin, very quickly, as you are a teacher, a question about Enfel. As you work with students, did you hear often from the student this motivation to develop startup? And if yes, what do you tell them?
Oh, yes, of course, because, you know, in biology, a lot of students think automatically about research or teaching, but we have a lot of opportunity in others one. So to do business and biology in the same time, to be, for example, also data scientists, like according to bioinformatics, like small startup in bioinformatics and biology. And, you know, those kind of person are like very successful in the world. So I tell them that if you have one project one day, just believe in your idea and work hard. You will for sure be successful, and you will find the help.
We lost Yasmin.
Hello?
Yes.
She's back now. Huh? Stop.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. I think we can hear you.
Yes. So I said that if we believe really in our idea, yes. Now you can hear me? It's okay,
yes.
Please?
Yes.
It's okay?
Yes.
It's okay. So I said that if we believe really in our project, we will find like the necessary help to do what we want. Finally, we will be successful.
Yes, yes. And
so, for example, if I can just add something, for example, in bioinformatics, you know that about like the lessons of Mr. Belhussein, that in my thesis, I do like 500 of DNA tag and more than 20 new species in GenBank. That lessons, free one with like those free software. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I agree. 100%. And yes, Yasmin, about your presentation, do you have a teaching philosophy or approach? what's your secret?
Yeah, I make science easy. So, basically I like spend scientific lessons. So biology, microbiology, genetics. But one day, so here in USA, it was like my first interview and they tell me, okay, can you teach physics? Say, okay, physics like kinematics, thermodynamics, something like that. And they said, okay, your doctorate degree is in science, right? Physics is science. And I learned something from Mr. Belhussein. I can't say no. So for me, they challenged me, and it's very funny for me to do kinematics now, and it's a new thing in my curriculum. So easy. If I make the other student. So this is the secret.
Okay, perfect. Amazing, amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. And I have to say that teaching is not easy, and Yasmin, you can teach everything, really everything. And was it challenging to jump from biology you cannot hear me? No, you cannot?
Sorry, I don't listen well. I don't listen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now yes.
Yes. Was it challenging to go from biology background and to teach med school student, and then to go to the US to teach here in the college? I mean, for me, it's like super impressive. Like the capacity of Yasmin to teach all the levels. So was it really challenging, and how do you feel about this?
So firstly, this capacity to be how we say polyvalent was like from the university. So when they tell me there is like one lessons they can't do, for example, the antecedent genetics of humanity diseases, for example, it was very difficult to do. So I said, yes, I learned a lot. So after, the experience in French system was very impressive. So from a teacher, I become a coach. So a coach is that person who gives student like the hope and like these capacities to be successful, especially in medical school. You know that exams like PASSES in France, like they are very difficult exams. So I coach for those exams, and I understand that if we have a good method, the students don't have another choice to be successful. So for me, I have zero chance of fail. I don't support fail. This is the secret.
Okay. No, I.
If I can add something.
Yes, please.
Mary. Hello? Yes?
Yes.
So just about Yasmin, because she didn't say it, but I think also her secret is her personality. So when I was like a teacher, or she worked with me in France, it's her personality. So she's like on say in French, bon vivant. No, so she's happy all time, even in difficulty. She keep her smile, and she learn, and she go, and she cannot say no. She just, if you ask her in the morning something, she don't know it. In the afternoon, she will come back. She already read everything about it. So it's her personality that make it easy for her to jump from one field to another, or from one challenge to another, easy like this.
Thank you very much.
And I agree with him. Thank
you.
So, Nadia, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I have a question about industry. For you, what are the most significant challenges or opportunities you see for the pharmaceutical industry in the coming years? I think it's a difficult question, but I think it's an important question.
Yeah, difficult and crucial question. I agree with you, Miriam, because in terms of challenges, after COVID pandemic, we seen a lot of change, and that's why for me, the main challenge is shifting business model. I mean, I really, as I mentioned at the beginning, I strongly believe that in every challenge, an opportunity is born. So, or at least that's how the challenge must be considered in order to overcome and invest it in a positive way. In other words, what I want to say by shifting business model is how transformation is accelerating the business and how we can use all these new competencies in digital database to help healthcare professional and help patient to get treatment in a new environment. For example, because finally the pharmaceutical company is the economical one also. A few years ago, we had some tools to evaluate and to analyze our cells. Now we use more and more artificial intelligence, the Power BI tools, etc. And that's why in different functions, this transformation is really impactful. So for me, it's the main and the first one. The second one, which is already challenging right now, is the market disruption due to the government measurements. Because once again, the financial aspect is really key for the industry. So from market access to price and availability of the treatment, which is, as I mentioned, a big challenge now. But I think it's about to get even bigger, because it's important to remember that in all the markets, even if the models are different, because for example, if we take Algerian market, which is the fully reimbursed market, we can notice that our patient cannot buy their treatment by themselves, because they have this habit to get treatment reimbursed. So for the authorities, it's a big challenge, and at the same time, we're facing the political and economical challenges. So even if we anticipate some aspect, but there is always some disruption that we need to face, and to what requires to be really to anticipate, but also to be able to face these challenges when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and my next question, do you team up also with academia? Do you interact, work with academia, or like it's just a complete separate field?
Maybe not at our level, because as I mentioned, one of the main job family is the research and development. So unfortunately, it's not the main field here in Algeria. But yeah, if we consider the partnership in general, we have different partnership with different representative. For example, schools, university, even the company like us in the pharma. But for the academia, it depends on the market. Mm-hmm. So if I talk about Sanofi in general, yeah, because of the need of developing new treatment, and so it's obvious to get this kind of partnership.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Mariam, just a minute. I have to go. My wife is waiting for me. So I don't know if there is any question from the audience to me before I leave. Or did I do a perfect job? So there is no question.
But please go follow Mr. Bedroni on LinkedIn. He's super active, and he's always posting many opportunities. So please follow Mr. Bedroni and the page of the association.
Yes, just one thing to add is I would love you to continue your work as a mentor. I think you are already doing some work. Continue doing that. I mean, we all have to share what we learn. I think that's a basic thing that we all need to do. Unfortunately, it's not something that is happening as much as it's needed in Algeria and Tunisia and other countries, but it's a start, and let's continue doing, and you guys are doing a good job, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I know we are very late, and it just like it's super, super important conversation I think that we are having now. So maybe Nadia, if you have one or two questions for me very quickly to end the session.
Yeah, I heard at the beginning, Miriam talking about the positive and the negative aspect in academia, and maybe I want to hear from you, Miriam, too.
About the negative and positive point.
Yeah.
So the positive point, there are a lot. So if you love research, you feel lucky to practice every day. You feel useful for the society. You can be part of an incredible community, which is the scientific community. And we saw it during for example, the COVID-19 pandemic. We all were very close, having the same goal, which is finding the vaccine and saving lives. So I think for me, this is the positive point of doing research in academia. But there is many, many negative aspects. And first, it's a heavy job, as I said. It needs hour and hour per day. You have periods without holidays, without weekends, and the competition in the field is very, very hard. And so the private life can be strongly affected, to be honest. And the other issue for me is the money. As we discussed again, there is no money for research, so it's difficult to find something good. And also your own money. You will not be rich by doing research in academia, for sure. So you really need to be in love with science to follow this this path. And again, please read the Nature paper to understand really the challenges that all the postdocs are facing now. I think it's important to know before you start in academia.
Can I add something?
Please, yes.
Yes. So because I am in, maybe I try both. I start like student, after I was in the academia, research students, and after I move in Dubai, where I am in the lab, who is like, we can say, private for the sheikh. So it's like there is no interaction with academia. It's everything is confidential and everything. So if I give positive, negative for each side, so for the private, I start with the hard one. The private, it's you have targeted. So the private is paying you from his pocket. It's not for funding from government or from association. So he's paying from his pocket. So he's waiting from you a result or target. So you are living all time. You are all time in stress. So if you are a person who cannot resist the stress, the private sector, or it's very hard for you because you need to work a lot to get your target, or you have this fear that you will lose your job, or you will have problems. So this is the negative side of private. But the positive thing in the private, that you are directly interaction with something that it will use, and you will see the results directly in the community. So if you are developing a medicine, it will be directly tested in the patients, and you will be happy that some people you are saving lives. Or so the interaction private and the final like product, it's rewarding. You can see your result and their actions. In the academia, it's not the same thing. So your results maybe will take years to be implemented if you are in research. So this result will not, it should be go to the private or to be developed, patent, and they will be developed and tested in the clinical, and the result will take like 5-6 years. So maybe you are already left this company and to see your result. So the rewarding, you need to be just that you discover something. It's not the final product, but it's just half of the story for you. So if you are happy also with this, it's okay. And also the academia, you have the side of teaching also. So you are not just doing research, but you need to give, like people give it to you, and you learn from them. You need to pass the flambeau. in French. So you need to give to them also. And this add also a layer of complexity. Because if you are good in research, it's not mandatory that you are good in teaching also. Some good teachers are not good researcher and vice versa. Some good researcher are very bad teacher and they refuse to give even courses or to train people. So you need to balance between these two sides, and you need to have this, like I said, for Yasmin, personality. If you have this personality that you like to teach, you have this way how to simplify complex information to transfer it to a new generation, because you cannot go directly and say genome gene. You need to like simplify it and to give it like pieces by pieces. And this, not everyone can do it. It's like it's in our genome, it's in our personality. So if you feel that you have this, you can go in academia to teach and everything. If you don't have it, this there is even like my wife say, la patience. Some people that they rapidly they are frustrated if the student, they don't understand what you are saying, they will become very fast, very frustrated, and it's not good for you also. So there is this, you need to find, if you are still student and you need to choose your path, you need to put all this in your list and decide according to your personality, to your vision in the future, how you want to live. So if you want to don't marry early and you want to make money and work, you go to the private. So you will have a private life in the beginning. You need to work very hard to have like good position, and after you can start your private life. In the academia, I hear this from many people that I prefer the academia because I give 4 hours, 5 hours courses a week, and I am free after. But it's not true reality, because these 5 hours of course, you need to prepare them, like hours of preparing the information, how to present them, how to make them simple. And also you need to like make training, not only the courses, the lectures. You need to train the students also in the labs, for example. So you need to find your way by weighting all this information and see your personality, where it will go, where you will be happy to, and you will be like in French we say épanoui, where you will be, yes, you embrace your life. Not, and it's okay, like she said, Mariam, to change. Maybe you go like me, I went in the private, like now I'm 6 years in the private, I'm not happy, like I want to change back to the academia, and I'm preparing to start like looking for academia, because okay, the private give me a lot of money to secure for my children a better life and give them a better life, but I am not happy. So I resist 6 years, and I start now to again to change the cap and to come back to the academia. So you need to be very careful how to choose, and it's okay to change in the middle, or to test different things, like Anfal, she said, like you don't be shy. I could reject the offer from private and stay in the, I got in the same time private offer and from university from Qatar. So I could go to Qatar to teaching and private in Dubai. And they said, okay, new opportunity, maybe in private, I will test it. So I didn't get like scared, but I went and I tried, and 6 years I got good results. I did good job, but personally I am not happy. There is this stress that I don't like. You have targeted and you need all time to think about them and everything. So this is what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I think we are super late, but it was nice to hear all this different background, and I think it will probably, and I'm sure it will help many students to find the right path. So thank you again for all our amazing speakers today. I'm sure it was helpful. Even for me, I learned a lot from all of you. I hope we can work again together soon in different projects. Thanks again. Please let me know if you have any questions. Email me or via LinkedIn, and we can try to answer all your questions. Thanks again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.